Hello everyone! Welcome to Messy Hearts, where we help people who seek advice for their troubled relationships and lives. Listen carefully and share your experience down in the comments below to help those who seek it. We hope you enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's head on to the first story. Story 1. Why does my BF tease me with his money and luxuries but never follow through? I am not really sure how to word this question. But my BF, 36M, and I, 28F, have been together almost 2 years now, and I have noticed a weird pattern with his enjoyment of teasing me with luxury items. He has a good job that apparently earns a good living, and he has bragged in the past. He said over $1 million last year in bonuses. I say apparently because I am honestly not sure if he is being truthful. I will say he goes all out on date nights with dinner bills between $400 to $500, so I know he does actually make a decent income. However, he may have exaggerated. Not that it matters at all. I don't care what he earns or what he spends on me. I am just pointing out the picture he has painted of himself for clarity. He always makes comments about buying us matching Rolexes or buying me a Porsche one day, which I always shrugged off. He'd start making those same comments in front of my family to the point where they have pointed out to me he comes off as very phony. Before last Christmas, he walked me into a YSL store and asked me to pick out my Christmas present. I excitedly tried on bags and eventually chose my favorite. He took down all the details from the sales lady, and I left the shop all giddy thinking that would be my Christmas gift. Couple weeks goes by and my mom spilled the beans that he had texted her and my sister pictures of expensive jewelry from Cartier asking for her opinion on what to get me for Christmas. So my expectations were raised, I will admit. Christmas comes and I open my gifts and they were normal items: perfume, lip gloss, pajamas, which again I have no problem with. I just think it was strange to raise my hopes like that and also involve my family. My mom and sister were very confused when I told them what I got. Then a month later I visited him for our 1-year anniversary. We do long distance. One morning I gave him his card and gift, a digital picture frame of our pictures and memories from the whole year, and he says thank you but doesn't give me even a card in return. He takes me out and actually takes me into a Cartier store, so I thought, oh, maybe he wanted to get me this for our anniversary instead of Christmas. So he has me trying on a bunch of different pieces and asking me to pick my fave, and when I do he says okay, maybe for your birthday, and we leave the store. So I was lost and confused yet again. And I asked him if he had even gotten me a card for our anniversary, and he said no. I was really hurt about the lack of effort made, and then this weird show of having me try on jewelry after opening his own gift that morning. It was just so weird to me. Then on my birthday we weren't together and my gift arrived in the mail, an Amazon Prime box with slippers, a Stanley cup, and a smart garden. Again, not a big deal, I just don't get the getting my hopes up prior to the day. He also does weird things like getting mad that I take the subway. He'll say it's not safe and he doesn't want his girlfriend in the position. And so I explain that I can't afford to take Ubers everywhere and to and from work. But it's like he does not comprehend that. So he brought this up in front of my sister one day, and she's more bold and blunt than me and says, well, if you don't want her taking subways, why don't you put your credit card in her Uber app right now so you know she can afford it and is always safe? He did not even acknowledge her. Just looked down at his phone. What is the psychology behind this kind of behavior? Why do you think he teases me like this? What piece of advice would you give to OP? Let us know down in the comments, and let's move on to our next story. Story 2. This morning found a receipt showing my partner bought condoms. We haven't used condoms for years. How do I handle this? My partner, 58, and I, 40, are struggling in our relationship. Been together for nearly 18 years, 2 kids, 3 and 6 years old. We have an unresolved conflict that started with him falling asleep while our 6-year-old daughter were left in the backyard, which was 60 days ago. He stonewalled me for weeks after that, brushed away any bid for connection from me, including hugs, caresses, and also just normal conversation. I stopped trying after he ignored me when I was upset and almost crying about something related to our daughter unrelated to him/our conflict. He maintains that I have to go to therapy to fix what he perceives as the core issue in our relationship, me repeating myself to him. A couple of days ago, I told him that I think we have other issues besides that and that I'm open to going to therapy and work on this repetition issue, but only if it's going to be a mutual effort where he also works on making changes and on issues that are related to his behavior. I also told him in that conversation that I don't feel safe with him in the sense that I no longer feels like he holds space for my feelings and that I often find myself on edge trying to not make him explode. He typically yells at me at least once a day, always my own fault of course. He thought me feeling unsafe was the greatest insult he's ever experienced and hit the roof. That night he went out in a rage to be with someone who doesn't think he's unsafe. He came home past midnight, allegedly having been to a bar, then his studio. The next night, he went out with a friend who lives out of town. He came home not too late, 1 in the morning or something, because I've been ill. He knew he had to take the kids in the morning. Then last night he worked and came home at 3:30 in the morning because he needed an escape from reality. When tidying our hall this morning, I found a receipt in between his things on the floor. It was for a packet of condoms, bought in the afternoon after our fight. I'm devastated. What do I do now? If I confront him, he's going to tell me that it's not for him or that it's because he's treating his psoriasis, affecting his penis, which he has done in the past. I'm confident that would be a lie, since the condoms are not in his cupboard in the bathroom, and he doesn't have the cream he'd use either. I'm pretty sure he's being unfaithful. How can I gather evidence without snooping on his phone or otherwise intruding his privacy? Do I just let it slide? Address it when we're finally with a therapist? More context. We've barely spoken the past 2 months, apart from about family logistics. He works nights at a concert venue 2 to 3, some 4 nights a week, and often spends time in his studio with late nights apart from that. We see each other at breakfast usually, and that's it. Occasionally, he's around for dinner/bedtime too, once or twice a week. It's been like this for the past year. When I tell him I feel abandoned, he just says that he doesn't want to talk about feelings. He feels forced to have this job and recent's having to pay 1/3 of our bills. I used to be able to cover nearly everything with my salary, but that's gotten a lot worse the past 3 years with the skyrocketing of living. Past 7 years or so, my partner has been dependent on me financially, due to his failing career as a musician. Since he's an artist, he's demanded not to have a normal full-time job. He resents the dependence. As do I. To cover bills and family expenses, I have to spend my entire salary plus any money gifted to me by family, instead of buying myself something nice, and I have even had to take up private loans from my family to cover for his lack of income. He also borrows money from his elderly mother to cover bills a few times a year. I know there are many red flags. We've had many ups and downs, but have kept together out of love, carried by the memories of the first 5 or so years we were together, which were fantastic. He's usually a very warm and loving man and a great father to our kids when he's around. I'm not sure we can ever get back to a place of true connection, though. Should I at least try? Any help/advice is appreciated. What's not helpful, though, is telling me to run. I can't practically do that for the time being due to kids and my job. We live in an expensive city, and there's currently no way for us to split up and remain in our neighborhood where our kids have their friends, schools, etc. Perhaps I should just keep it together and make things work until I'm able to maintain our life financially on my own? Do you have any advice on this one? Comment down below and let's move on into the third story. Story 3. My husband told me after a year into our marriage that he doesn't want a baby. What do I do now? My husband dropped the bomb on me this month that he doesn't want to start a family with me. We got married a year ago and started to talk about the future. We were both on the same page before and after the wedding that we want to have a baby. Well, this past month, he told me he doesn't want another kid. He has 2 kids from a previous marriage that he gets to see every other weekend. He says that's all he needs/wants now, and that he's firm in his decision to not have a kid. When asked for a reason, he states because I don't want another one and that he changed his mind. I'm heartbroken because I don't think a wedding would have happened had I known this a year ago. I'm torn between leaving in hopes to find love to start a family, but then possibly not being able to conceive, or staying and resenting my husband for changing his mind and not allowing me motherhood of my own. To add, I love my stepchildren so much, but I can't shake the feeling that I'm not biologically connected. I didn't get to feel the joys and sadness of having a newborn and watching them grow. I came in later and I'm just the stepmom that the bio mom and stepdad don't like. Advice, suggestions, support, anything is welcomed. Thank you for watching. All advice is welcomed and will help these people to resolve the things that trouble them. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think. And never forget that your smile is your best feature. Wear it proudly.